Welcome back to Amy Lynn Creative. Today's video is a hot topic in every Facebook group. What do you charge for photography? Or what should you charge for your photography? Alright, now there is no cut and dry answer, I'm so sorry. However, this is the part where you get to be a business owner and make these decisions based on your business. That is the exciting thing about running your own business, is that you can make these kinds of decisions. And what you say is your price, and it's the right price. Now, there's always tweaking you can do, and I have a few tips for you as far as what you should start your pricing at. First of all, this video assumes that you already have a portfolio. So it doesn't have to be a bunch of images, but you need to have some images showing your work. If you don't have a portfolio, you shouldn't be charging. Make sure that your portfolio work, as you start to build that, if you don't have images to show people, that your first few clients are complimentary in exchange for images. Make sure you have a contract. I have a whole video about this, but do complimentary sessions to build a portfolio. Then once you have some images to show, you can start charging for your work, and this is exciting. Now, I have another video about this, but make sure you have a separate bank account set up for these funds, that this income that you're making, so that you are not in a panic at tax time. So you have your portfolio, you're ready to start charging. You've had a lot of education, you have been practicing, you've got that portfolio, you're ready to start charging for your work. This is exciting. First of all, you need to know your cost of doing business. So this varies for every photographer, but you need to know how much it costs you every month to run your business. Then you need to figure out, approximately how many shoots you're going to be doing and making sure you're covering your costs. And then you need to make sure that you have enough profit added on top of that. When you're first starting out, it's going to be a little lower margin because you just can't start charging hundreds of dollars unless your work backs that up. And that's the next thing. Your work needs to back up your pricing. Now, for most women, this is not a problem. Most women undercharge. It is an actual scientific, they've done research fact, that most women tend to undercharge, charge less than what they're worth, okay? So I would not be too concerned about this for most women. So you need to factor in how much you've put into education, how much you've put into gear, and how that is reflected in your current work. Now, one way you can do this, I don't recommend constantly comparing yourself to other photographers, but this is one instance in which you probably should. So go online, go and find photographers doing what you do in your local area. Warning, there will be a lot of them, and that is okay. There is still a place for you. So find maybe 3 photographers to compare. Look at their pricing, look at what they offer. Not everyone lists their pricing on their website. That's their personal choice, but if you find some photographers that list their pricing on their website, it's a great way to make sure that your work is in a good place for your pricing and geographically that it's good for the area. If you live in a city versus rural, or depending on what state you're in and what part of that state, what you can charge for your work is gonna vary. Now, finally, the other thing you need to think about is what packages are you going to offer? So are you including digital images? How long is the shoot? Are you going to offer multiple options? If you want to have a budget option and then a little higher end package, go for it. I tend to have just one price for everything except my brand photography, because my brand clients have such vastly different needs. I have several packages and my clients just choose the one they need based on what they need right then. So that's kind of a different thing. But for weddings and portraits, I always charged, I had like a 1-hour session and a 2-hour session, and that was pretty much it. I also offer mini sessions at a lower rate. So if you have clients who are more budget minded, then you can offer them a mini session if you choose to do so. I usually only offer mini sessions in a 1-day block, so I'm doing a bunch of them at a time and I still make money. Then from there, increase your prices. I think I started my family session prices at like $150 for an hour, and then I went up to $250, and then I kind of went up from there. I started doing shorter sessions and charging more money for them because I was able to get the same amount of images, so they were getting the same experience in a shorter amount of time, things like that. So when you first start pricing, that could change a little bit, and you could say, I feel like this is too high. Now, what you should not do, let's say you set your pricing and you put it out there and crickets. Or even worse, you get a message from someone saying that you're too expensive. Don't listen to them. unless it's like someone you trust, even if it's someone you trust. If you have done your research, then your pricing is correct. And as a business owner, that is your choice. It is not your family's opinion that matters. It is not a budget shopping client's opinion that should affect your pricing. I am at a point now where I have priced myself out of the range of a lot of people. And that's okay. I am not the photographer for them. They will find someone who's just starting out and they will hire that person and be happy with their images. That is not your ideal. Once you get to a certain point, that's not your ideal client anymore. And you're going to find that that ideal client changes, and sometimes that can be really, really hard, especially as a female business owner, because you want to serve them, especially if they're close friends or family. For me personally, I have a lot of some friends that have supported me since the very beginning, and I have a certain group of friends that I give a special rate to, and I don't feel like that discredits me as a photographer. That's me saying thank you to them for supporting me from the very beginning, even when I totally sucked. Discounting at a client's request is never a good idea, because it is you devaluing your own work, and it's just not a good idea. If you're going to discount something, it needs to be discounted in advance. You need to say, hey, for this amount of time, I am running this special. Make it a limited time offer. It needs to be maybe a shorter session. Like this spring in January, spoiler alert, I am offering some mini brand sessions. They're very stripped down, very basic, no extra props. And they're going to be a special price because I want people to be able to afford them. But that special pricing is being announced in advance by me as a very special offer that they can take advantage of on this mini session day only. And that way I'm being able to offer something at a different price point while still making a profit for myself and not devaluing myself as a business owner. So I hope these tips were helpful. Do let me know if you have any more questions about pricing. It is kind of a back and forth, give and take a little bit, as far as, you have your pricing at something for a while, and then you get more education or you get new gear, and then you can raise your prices as long as your work reflects that. Or you say, I think I might just be a little high. And as long as it's not a confidence thing, go ahead and lower your price a little bit. Because you do need to, if you don't have any demand, then maybe you need to go a little lower. Just don't price yourself too low. Again, female photographers tend to price themselves too low anyway. So I'm really hesitant to say that, because usually it is not the pricing that is the problem. There's other situations. So whether it's a marketing thing or a referral thing or a saturated market thing, those are the problem, not the pricing. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. Please like and subscribe. If you did find it helpful, like, subscribe, all the things. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you'll watch additional videos.